I've stood before this board of leaders for many years now and been told that there was no ordinance regarding the culverts that are within the village of Baroda.
Hold on, this is about the budget, not public comment yet.
This involves the budget because it says here there will be a special assessment thereon upon the ditch maintenance, which has not been taken care of for 14 years. According to the drain commissioner, I have a map, he's told me that it is no longer their responsibility. The drain that is here within the village limits is the village of Baroda's leaders to maintain. It's been 14 years and running. I have asked repeatedly for this to be maintained and taken care of to no avail. I don't see any date on the thing that it's going to be taken care of. And I'd like to have this also added to the budget, that this needs to be addressed. It's caused damage to my home. I've had a foundational expert come in that's well known in the community. He's been in my home multitudes of times and has seen the changes that have happened in the 14 years from a culvert that was non-functioning for a 14-year period of time. The neighbors to the north of me filled their ditch with gravel. And it says right here that no gravel or dirt or rubbish should enter a culvert. That was denied, it was never addressed. And I'm here today to make certain that this is not going to be shoved off in the distance, because another year of this is not okay. I got a dry functioning 100-year-old home, root cellar, that I've been running 2 dehumidifiers for over a decade. Oftentimes my root cellar is at over 75% humidity. It's not something that I can no longer maintain. It is this body of leaders to address this, including in the budget. So I'm not sure how it works for special assessment, but I want all of the people here to know that this has been ongoing for over a decade, and it really needs to be addressed without being talked to like I don't know what I'm talking about. And I've also been told that I have to hire a private company to auger out this community ditch, and I've also been told that I need to seal coat my basement from water issues. So I think neither of those are solutions to the non-maintenance of a culvert that should have been taken care of 12 years ago.
Any other audience comments? Not, we'll close the public hearing. All right, we'll open the Baroda March 2nd, 2026 regular monthly meeting. Audience comments? Anybody got comments from the regular meeting? Go ahead.
The handicap spots in the village have been an ongoing subject for multiple years. Including one at the village park, the one in front of TJ's, the one at Connie's, and the other ones in front of multiple businesses around the village. They still have not been painted. We have multiple handicapped residents within our community and multiple people who come from outside of our community to support our small local businesses. And it is becoming a bigger and bigger problem. I have multiple handicapped people who frequent the business that I personally work at, along with the other businesses in town who are struggling to be able to get to our locally based businesses because they can't park at places that are accessible because there are no handicap parking spots. They have not been painted, there have not been signs put up, and as a previous village board member, this is something that we have had on our agenda over and over and over, and it said that we're going to get it resolved. And I have now fully been off of the board since August of 2024, and we're now in March of 2026, and those issues still have not been resolved. And I'd like to know when you guys are going to take care of that for our disabled village residents and our local business owners.
Any other audience comments? Go ahead.
Oh, is there any way that, I know we talked about it once before, can't we post the agenda on the website? Not that it would be easy to find, because our website is not real friendly, but maybe.
I put it out there and he didn't, he must have not done that, but I gave it to him, our web guy. So if he didn't put it out there.
I couldn't find it, I mean, the agenda you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't find it. All
Any
right.
other audience comments? All right, we move on. Approve amended agenda. We have made by Bob, supported by Steve, to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Approved minutes for February 5th, 2026.
Gloria, on the 26th, future proposal, can you please strike out
What page are you on, please?
3?
And what would you like to start?
Which village council members and the community growth with the alliance with CGA, and all that was never spoken about.
Which paragraph?
It's the last, like, sentence.
Just a lot of praise to the group.
Yeah, I would just say, President Michael Price turned the floor to Nikki, address council members with the possibility of restructuring some of the village planning commission period, strike out the rest.
Okay.
So I'm a little unclear on something on page 4. I didn't ever hear anything about at the meeting about the township notifying the clerk that the petition was certified.
What paragraph are you on?
Sorry, under this incorporated, Village of Baroda, second paragraph. The first I was notified of that was on Monday, the meeting that I ran February 2nd, is it? I don't believe that those prior dates were discussed whatsoever at the meeting. I believe that they're factual. I now learned that it was actually, that the village office was notified prior to Monday. But is that factual?
The township clerk notified me, as she is supposed to do, on that date.
Okay.
That's what the sentence says.
Okay, but this is a minute of the meeting that occurred on March 2nd, or February 2nd. And I don't believe that was, information was even shared with us. The first note, the only notification I knew as of February 2nd was that it was basically the phone call I received on February 2nd.
No, same with me.
I went back and listened to the meeting, I didn't hear those dates at all, so, this is supposed to be minutes of what happened at the
Okay,
meeting.
what would you like to do?
You wanna strike
Strike
out
that
that
whole
whole
paragraph?
section?
You can strike it out.
Yeah, so, and honestly, this whole thing, I believe it's quoting, I didn't get out the attorney's letter that talks about the whole act and how the process works and such. I'm not sure that it's beneficial to us to try to restate all that in minutes, because if we have anything that's incorrect in here now, we have this extraneous information, if it's incorrect, is a problem for us. So I think it's, to our benefit to maybe even start this whole thing, and the resolution for adoption was presented, which was basically what happened, the motion, and,
Do you wanna do that first paragraph?
right, first
And then like the
paragraph.
last paragraph on the next page? Is that what you're thinking, or?
So we have the first paragraph that says, President Michael Price directed board members to the attention of a letter from the Village of Baroda attorney, and then the motion.
Yeah.
Is that adequate documentation of what happened at the meeting? We all know that a whole bunch more happened beyond that, but I think that meets the minimums, and I'm only concerned that if there's one little thing about a date or a section of the law, the act or something in here that we have incorrect, now we're setting ourselves up for having inaccurate meeting minutes. So, yes, my proposal is to, under this incorporation of the Village of Baroda, leaving the first paragraph and the last paragraph, and striking all items in between. My only other we have several cases in here where it says a copy of this is attached to these minutes. I think there's 3 places where we have that.
I will attach them to the official minutes, I didn't see
Right,
like all of this.
Yeah, I didn't want, I don't
Yeah.
think these, I just wanna make sure we have that now.
I
We're
will
on
make
scanned
sure.
on to the village website as well, so that,
Right.
okay, thank you very much, Lori, appreciate it. I think that's a good way of doing that.
Any other changes for February 2nd?
February 2nd was a special.
No, it's
No,
not
it's
regular.
okay.
Make a motion to approve the February 2nd meeting minutes with the changes of striking under 2026 future proposal, the statement with the village council members and Community Growth Alliance, and also the second change under disincorporation of the village of Baroda, leaving the first paragraph, the last paragraph, and striking all else.
Anyone want to support it?
I will.
All right, motion made by Bob, supported by Nikki to approve the minutes for February 2nd, 2026 as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, approved minutes for special meeting February 12th, 2026.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for the special meeting of February 12th.
I second.
Any discussion on it? All right, Bob made a motion to approve the meeting, special meeting minutes for February 12th, 2026, supported by Steve. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Approved bills.
Is this the last time you will be sending one to the water and sewer guy, because we switched that over, or is that still in the works?
Yeah, that's all switched over.
So this would be the last one?
Mhm.
That was my question.
What is the, fourth line from the bottom, $108 for synopsis of the January 26th meeting?
We print the synopsis in the journal. A synopsis of all of the minutes get printed in the journal error.
Have we always done that?
Never.
No, it's more of a township thing.
I thought Debbie did it.
Okay.
There's bills that were,
I've never seen that before.
bills that's been paid. You're supposed to print your synopsis. Anybody in the room agree with me?
I think that's a township thing.
I see nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it, but
No.
I don't know that.
I guess you need to break me if you want it or not.
I don't, maybe we see benefit in that, I mean. we
I'm
have a
pretty sure I've
website.
read it somewhere that you're supposed to, so we'll have to go back and look.
I see the other towns do it, I mean.
So we'll look
Yeah.
into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
we'll look
okay.
into it. I'm pretty sure I read it somewhere.
But if you don't want it, then
Alright.
The attorney fee, $190 toward the top, fifth item down. Was that the disincorporation basically coming to the minutes and, or coming to the meeting, sorry, the disincorporation?
I don't remember what was all covered in that bill.
I think that was all.
There's been so much going to the attorney.
My purpose in asking is again to my desire that we somehow flag all this stuff that is being, all the money that's being spent associated with disincorporation, so that even though it may not be in this year's budget as a line item under a, sorry, I think what we call our lines.
GLs? GLs?
At the end, and Michael, just notable to me that we spent $10,000 on water upgrades. That's just like super bad upgrade, that's, we don't normally see those.
I don't think we had any last year.
Right. Typically gonna be in the depth of winter.
Well, they only kept it for one time.
Yep, is that gonna be, is our water system getting old enough that we're gonna see it pick up through the or is this just a coincidence?
Well, I think it was just the weather.
Okay.
They were nasty weather.
I was thinking about next year's budget, we need to be stepping that up. Make a motion to approve the payment of bills in the amount of $33,309.86.
Alright, motion made by Bob, supported by Katie for the approval of bills of $33,309.86. Roll call, Mickey, Bob,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Katie, myself, yes, motion carries. Payroll.
Make a motion to approve payroll in the amount of $13,198.70.
I second.
Motion made by Bob, supported by Steve for the approval of payroll of $13,198.70. We'll do roll call, Mickey,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
myself, yes. Motion carries. Reports, treasurer's report.
I found a file on the computer that goes back to the beginning of time, and this is the format that probably 95% of all reports were in, so I continued that format. And my only question to everybody is there any additional information besides what's always been given you, requested or needed? Monthly basis.
Yeah, it's right after the payroll. And
I think it looks good.
Yes, I did look at it, I remember liking it and thought it was very informative. It's nice to have it on one piece of paper, but there's a lot of information on there, so I think the right level for me.
Do you have anything else for treasurer's report? Alright, clerk's report.
busy. Oh no. I'm tired, but I'm good.
DPW report? Randy,
Oh. Yeah, I got a request. I'd like to have fuel on hand, diesel fuel, tank, pump, so we don't have to go to the gas station to get diesel fuel. I was suggested by my fuel guy to get a new tank. I think Mike got a quote on it, but I would like to have fuel on hand. Cause when them trucks are running, you know, it only lasts 2 days and you're out of diesel fuel, and it's on the weekends and it's early, they're not open. So,
So this is from Commercial Welding in Dowagiac. I guess they build the tanks. They have a 300 gallon for $822 and 550 gallon for $1,210.
and I would suggest a 500, just cause when they drop fuel, it's a bigger tank.
So we don't have anything as of right now, we need to get one, is what you're saying?
We don't have anything. Gas can.
Well, it is just dumb,
It's a 550 gallon is $1,210.
Is this above ground or below?
Above ground.
Yeah.
They do have tanks that have containers in it if we need to get the contained one.
Double wall, right?
Yeah, the double walls.
And I don't know what your guys' insurance, that's something, you know, I have both at the farm, I have a double wall and a single wall. But it depends what your insurance says about it.
I think we can look into it.
Can you squeeze by another month?
Yeah, but when this long, I mean, you know, to me, it's crazy. You know, when I was at Stevensville, that was one of the first things I did, man, get a tank in there. Going up to Shell, it's just, I don't know, it don't make sense to me.
You have to go all the way to Shell or you can get it stuff from.
Well, you did, they're broke.
Is the
It's
fuel
been
cheaper
broke.
when you buy it, you know, like that?
Who knows, you know, I don't know. I'm saying when I worked at Stevensville, we had to go to the Shell station, you know, for fuel. I mean, I just don't see, it just didn't make a lot of sense. So they did put in tanks there, which I helped them get, and they got gas plus diesel fuel. So, and I think you can buy it cheaper, I'm sure you can. You know, so you're gonna get some savings, you know, how much, I don't know, I'm sure that depends when you buy it. You know, I'm sure that goes up and down like any traded commodity, you know that. But I just think that would be very beneficial, the DPW.
I have no idea. Look into that.
They can send up to,
Anything else for,
I'll go on record saying.
anything else for DPW report?
So I'll just say that I think I'm on record as supporting the equipment and tools and materials that everybody needs to do their job efficiently. But right now, as we're talking about this incorporated village, I'm not really at all supportive of buying anything that's not necessary, that might be just spending village people's money that's gonna be just disposed of.
But even so, don't you use fuel like at your parks and, for the backhoe, big graves and stuff too?
but that's not village.
Right, then
We
the
just spend it on
township
village
would buy
money.
it instead of the village residents paying for it.
Oh, I see what you're saying, oh, I forgot, split
So,
it.
yeah, so it's not that we're leaving you out to dry, and if you need things to continue to do, but as far as making changes in the way we do things that cost money, I'm not gonna support that for the.
It's hard to do things with no money though. That's a tough order. Fortunately, but yeah, okay, I got you, all right.
All right, new business, CGA presentation?
That would be me. There's a couple of goodies over here. I can't wander too far because I'm tethered to the screen over here, but wanted to introduce myself. I know a few of you, but my name's Katie Schoenwitz. I live here in Baroda. My husband's back there, Frank. Yep. Hi, Frank. Hi, Frank. We launched Baroda Soda last summer, so if any of you have been in to get an ice cream or a milkshake from us, thank you very, very much. We're happy to get to know you. We are from Southwest Michigan. We lived here most of our lives. Thanks from Stevensville. I grew up in Edwardsburg. Really, really happy to be back in a small town. One of the things that happened when I came back and we launched our business is the village and township specifically asked if I would be interested in supporting a new community growth alliance. So for those who haven't heard about the CGA, the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber of Commerce has helped a few of other communities join forces. So the village, the township, Berrien Springs, Orinoco, and Eau Claire have all joined forces to put our heads together and find opportunities that are going to help the community, whether those are community improvement projects, things like lighting, handicap parking, park initiatives, streets, etc. So I volunteered to be part of that. So I've been helping with that group, representing specifically the township since August or September last year, but really a lot of the things that we're talking about are going to support the village and the township both. So today is kind of the first day that we've had an opportunity to get back in front of the village. I'm going to do the same presentation in a couple of weeks for the township. But this is really one of our first opportunities to get back in front of this group who has entrusted us to be good stewards and volunteers for the community and give a little bit of a presentation on one of the big initiatives we've been working on over the last couple of months. So I'm really excited to show you something fun. I know there's very serious talk that needs to happen tonight, and a lot of you are here for probably some hard and difficult conversations. I hope this is a fun conversation that you guys get to be a part of. So because I can't wander too far, I'm gonna sit here a little bit, and for anyone tucked in this corner, you may not be able to super see what I'm sharing, but I'll try and describe what's going on here. All right, so specifically we're going to be talking a little bit about marketing, and I know that's kind of like a woo-woo type of term, but I think that we've got a few really, really solid recommendations that are going to benefit this community very much. Like I said, our mission with the CGA is to help foster economic development and improve the quality of life for our residents and our visitors. When we first started meeting as a breakout group, we quickly identified quote-unquote marketing as one of our top needs. We needed to develop some tools to be able to better tell Baroda's story and our vision for the future of this community. So the foundation of our marketing efforts and what I'm sharing with you guys tonight is a new brand for Baroda. For anyone who just drives around the township or the village, look around and you'll see a mixed match of logos, signage, slogans, old outdated signage, stuff that's been peeling. Not because anyone did a bad job, it's just that stuff is old and it gets outdated, and as new leadership rotates in and out, new decisions are made over time. So I think we struggle with a little bit of communicating out to the community, either our residents who live here, people who visit us, who and what we are. So we think that it's time for kind of a fresh foot forward, and I think that a new brand offers a ton of benefits. We hope that it's an initiative that's going to bring our community together around something positive, ultimately attracting new visitors who are going to spend money here, new investment in community involvement. Over the long haul, it's stuff like this that helps strengthen our local economy. So we're going to talk a little bit about what an updated brand and identity for Baroda looks like and some of the ways that we think we're going to use it. So after kicking around a few concepts as a breakout group, this is our top recommendation. So we're proposing a fresh new logo that features an O made out of a gear and a leaf, honoring the two anchor industries in this community, agriculture and manufacturing. Manufacturing in particular is something that's not represented at all in our current logos. A lot of it's wine related. So this is really leaning into the idea that we have more than just wineries to offer as part of this community. Lots of benefits to a brand like this. It's easy to produce in black and white. We can modify it, unique versions, depending on how any conversation ends up around village, township, organization, dissolution, any of that stuff. We can easily scale this however we need it without wasting time and money, which I think is important. We don't want to launch an effort that we're going to have to walk back in a year or two, right? We want to make sure that we're being smart about how we're using our time. We can also use this brand in a dedicated growth campaign. The slogan, "Raise the Bar," uses BAR from Baroda to give an easy to remember, easy to say slogan. We picture using this campaign in all sorts of ways, including fundraisers, grant applications, hiring or recruiting efforts for local businesses, outdoor markets or festivals. We actually have her in the audience today, but Jenny, do you want to wave to everyone, Jenny? Jenny is the new director for our CGA. So giving Jenny a,
Maybe that would be one of my questions for tonight, is if we, because I know Julie's and you are doing interviews.
yep, Julia's officially accepted, not officially started yet, but in the
Yep, I
next couple.
start on the 16th.
The 16th. Okay, so we're really excited for Jenny. I'm sure she's gonna have an opportunity to introduce herself and her background, but we needed to be able to give Jenny some tools and some concrete things to take to people who had questions about our community, whether they wanted to buy an existing commercial property that's for sale, looking to develop a vacant piece of property that they're interested. Being able to give her a tool like this in a campaign to build a message around, I think is really important. All right, I did make a little bit of a video. I don't know if this will play or not, so if not, we'll skip right past it, but if I can get this to play with some audio. Let's see here.
From rolling vineyards and wooded walking trails, people and antique shops and old homes, are the hustle of modern life. We work hard, but not too hard, for a conversation over pancakes and coffee. For the kind of blue collar that ends a long day with a cold beer. Baroda is the leaves changing with the seasons, and a weekly rotation of fresh fruits and veggies ready for harvest. It's the smell of fresh turned soil and incoming winter spring, or grapes, fresh off the vine in our tasting room. Blueberry jam, a single brick road through downtown, grease under your nails, autumn bonfires, and a million summer stars lighting up pastures and dirt lanes. Nestled between Richmond and Reading Springs, we offer inland affordability with easy access to the lakeshore and the broader region. Baroda is the perfect spot for the next business venture or maybe one day kind of dreamer. Help us raise the bar for our community. Come grow with us all year round. Get started at discoverbaroda.org.
All right, so for anyone paying attention, a lot of that was not actually That is one of my action items once the weather gets a little bit nicer, is to actually get out into the community, take videos, photos, get to know a lot of you guys who either have historic farms, properties in the area, your families have been here a long time, you have a local business, and recreate a video kind of like this for us to put on a landing page or to direct people towards, whether they're looking to visit the area, move here, start a new business here. Again, giving some resources to people like Jenny to be able to point them to, just to really speak to who we are as a community. We're not trying to be the next new Buffalo by any means. We want to make sure that we're celebrating what makes Baroda unique. So we think that a new brand is going to really, really help the village and the township raise the bar, lending a little bit of sophistication to official communications. Again, we can have tailored versions of these for the village or the township as needed. If this is something that works for a budget or could be useful to folks, you can easily adapt the brand for collateral and letterhead, those types of things. So I think it just went around the room, but we've already produced one piece of collateral just to give you a sample of what something tangible might look and feel like. A wrap card like this could be used by Jenny, anyone here in this room really, to have conversations with developers, with investors. You can hand it out to incoming small business owners or new residents or people interested in running for local government. The QR code, I'll talk about that in just a second, goes to a landing page. But we wanted to produce something that people ever see. So we're not constantly printing new things, we're not making new things that are gonna be outdated in 6 months, right? But if a QR code can go to a single website that we can maintain and update, that's probably the best use of our time and our resources. These cards in particular were donated to us through the Associated Regional Chamber of Commerce. They printed these for us just so we could have the conversation. So to date, we have not spent any actual money doing any of this. This is all on a volunteer basis. So currently the village and township maintain multiple Facebook and social media pages. I heard someone say they were looking for meeting minutes and they were a little bit hard to find on existing websites. I think that as we produce new branded materials, these are some of the things that we can communicate communicate to a webmaster or whoever's controlling your websites. You guys are looking for a volunteer. I produced all of these things. I do have a background in this, so it's something that I'm happy to help support over. I mentioned the landing page. Let me turn this on really quick. So we did rough out a rough landing page at discoverbaroda.org, which lives as part of the Southwest Michigan Regional Chamber of Commerce website right now. So we don't pay for it. It's nothing that we've had to go out and purchase. So right now it's just serving as a quick one-stop page for latest information on available properties, priority projects, community events. Like I said, we'd love to do the same thing with the existing village and township websites one day, but I think that that's probably like a tier 2 or 3 effort once we get sorted, and I know there's a lot of discussion that's gonna be happening around identity and how the two entities are structured. So just know that we've got pieces ready to go at any point when someone wants some help with any of that. One of the easiest and most visible opportunities to show off a new brand is signage. So this could mean potentially new signage for key community landmarks and municipal buildings. It could be parks, examples. We've already started mentioning it to local business owners in the community who may be willing to help us through that effort and reduce our costs there if we do choose to do new signage. For example, our friend Adam Schaller here, I just passed out a couple of little laser engraved keychains to the group up here just to give a little sample of how easy it is to take a high resolution image that's really simple and be able to use it in a variety of ways. It could be wayfinding signage around the village if we feel like that's necessary. Welcome signs or monuments as you come in and out of the village. And then our business or industrial park, which I feel like doesn't get a lot of celebration or love, at least visually as you drive through it. If we're getting more people interested in investing in the community and they want to build here, I feel like this adds a little bit of professionalism. I also have heard rumors of people interested in a social district, so I think that a new brand could be a perfect complement to something like that if that's what the community desires, whether that's signage to understand throughout Baroda who participates and where to find them. Maybe a fundraising campaign, for example, maybe we produce branded cards for the social district, people buy them and then they get a discount at participating businesses and use that revenue to fund a special project. For example, maybe the lighting or signage could get paid for through a fundraiser that the community participates in. One of our other top priorities as a CGA and specifically our Baroda breakout group is to build a collection of what we're calling priority properties where we want to focus our support. So these could be available commercial properties, empty or underused storefronts in the village, things that have been on the market for a while and just not getting enough interested buyers. It could be vacant land, it could become housing, or maybe it's land that the township or the village already own, but we don't have a concrete plan for. We've started building a digital repository in a system called Regrid, which pulls parcel information from Berrien County. And ultimately what we're gonna use this tool for is that as we learn information about properties, for example, someone's looking to retire and they're not really sure what to do or what steps to take next, we can start collecting a little bit of information, pass it to someone like Jenny, who can help put together a succession plan or put property owners in touch with folks who can help with loans, funding. Maybe we already know someone who's interested in buying a piece of property, and all we really need to do is connect with some people who talk it out and talk with their individual realtors. So just wanted to let you guys know that that effort is on our top priority list. We've started that process. Just a couple more slides here for you folks. I just wanted everyone in this room to know that the CGA, our Community Growth Alliance, our little group among the 6 municipalities, can help in a lot of ways. One of the things that we're really getting into right now is applying for grants for spearheading special projects. So we've started putting together just a few concept things to really revision what downtown could look like and the surrounding area. We could also use a brand to help celebrate and welcome new businesses as buildings sell and we bring in new small business owners, making sure they get celebrated, that they're visible to the community, that they're visible to visitors as they come into Baroda, so that we get more foot traffic into those businesses on First Street. The other thing we can do with a brand is pitch ideas and opportunities to investors. So for example, properties that have been sitting for a while, not really sure what to do with them, maybe all it really takes is a connection point between someone looking for that particular type of business, and they're not really sure that that even existed. Maybe they've been looking in Berrien Springs or Eau Claire, and they didn't even know a commercial property was available in Baroda or something like that. That's part of our job, is to be connecting those dots and making sure people have enough information and enough choice to be able to figure out what they want to do with their properties. We can definitely use it to help market and promote community events, things like summer festivals, movies in the park, Halloween, the list goes on and on. Many of those things are already happening, but we've now got a collection of people willing to support it and lend a little bit of muscle around the messaging, the brand, the look and feel, so that we drive more community participation. So, a new brand ultimately gives us a clear launch point, fresh start from which to build. I'd be really, really excited to work with anybody here in this room. If you're a local business owner, if you're a local resident, a family that has a story to tell, we'd love to start collecting those stories that we can potentially work on press releases. We could add your story to our landing page. We really want to celebrate what makes Baroda a great, not just a great place to visit, but a great place to live, ultimately. And my ask coming out of today's meeting, honestly, no to-dos. I'm just looking for a little bit of support, and I found out that we should be doing some of these concepts first. I'm not ready to spend money on any of this yet. I think future meetings, if we do feel the need that, hey, we might have to put some money towards this, we'll propose a budget and really talk through the benefits of something like signage, for example. But yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of some of the progress we've made over the last couple of months. I'll be excited 6 months from now even to move some of this stuff forward. So, yes?
How do we contact you?
Right now, if you go to the QR code on that rack card, it'll take you to discoverbaroda.org, and there's a button, I believe that it goes to the clerk currently. But my hope is that we can redirect it to Jenny's email address.
Yep, I don't have one yet, but I will.
Yeah. So in the interim, if you have something urgent that you'd like to talk about, I'd love to talk to you one-on-one. I don't know if anyone else wants my contact, but I can give you my contact information in the chat.
And then just one question.
Yes.
Everything looks really great, but let's just be honest, Baroda is also known very much for their wineries. And from my research and knowledge of Baroda, the grapes have been part of the Baroda Township and Village logo for quite some time. The village has been in existence for, I believe, 103 to 105 years. I might be miscalculating. And I really am impressed that the manufacturing companies are being acknowledged, but we are completely taking out the wineries, and they are a very huge impact in our.
We talked about it, yeah, we talked about it, and they all have such strong brand recognition already on their own. In fact, I believe there was a potential lawsuit at some point, a trademark infringement, that we got a little too close at some point to one of the wineries' logos. My feeling is that they've got a ton of brand recognition, they're obviously a huge part of the community, that we can coexist together. We do have an entire brand book that lives behind this, including a supplemental color scheme, and we built all of the wine colors into all of that, so that there's still a nod
So with
to.
this replacement, we pull into where it says welcome to Baroda Township.
That's the
Welcome
vision.
to Baroda Village. This would be second.
That's the vision, yeah. Any other questions from the group? Anyone out in the hallway? I don't know if you guys can hear or see any of that, but.
So hard to hear.
I liked it though. Good job.
Can you at least see any of the concept? Like I said, we're gonna do this again for the township in a couple of weeks, and I imagine that at some point we'll be distributing this out to the community, either for a vote or for some feedback.
Good job, Katie.
Yeah.
This is exactly what the township and the village, yeah, it'll bring the village back.
That's all I have right now. Thank you.
Thank you, good job.
Good job.
All right, 2026 West Shore football fundraiser. I don't think so. Attached is a request to allow the Lakeshore Football Program fundraiser to be present at the intersection of Cleveland Avenue and Shawnee Road. Elgin Township. Alright, Lemon Creek and Stevensville Road, that one's for us. Decide whether to allow Lakeshore Football Program fundraiser for Saturday, June sixth, 2026, from 8 a.m. to 12 noon at the intersection of West Lemon Creek Road and Stevensville Road.
Is this meeting summary report something we normally created?
Yeah.
So we could strike at the intersection of Cleveland and Shawnee
Yeah.
and the S for intersections in two places, just to make it clear that we're only authorized.
I think it was, I don't know, the email is right after that, but probably.
Yeah, this was sent to both.
The email has both.
That was, yeah.
It's not your fault.
Just make it more plain. Is that what?
If you'll notice
So
that
you
the
want
item,
to
the
keep-
action is there for the village.
Yeah, it looks clean. We get rid of after the football program fundraiser to be present, and then strike the rest until we say on Saturday, June sixth. And then there's two places as intersections with the passage of the I presume they're gonna do kind of the standard thing, standing out in the intersection.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Take these.
Make a motion to authorize the request of action.
I'll second.
Motion made by Bob, supported by Katie, to approve the 2026 Lakeshore Football fundraiser. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Approve budget amendments?
What's the, sorry, page number 4, the interest payment, what's that interest on?
That's
The industrial park?
the bond.
So that's not a variable rate? Should be a fixed rate?
It's a fixed rate, but every year you're paying off.
Sure.
In July, part of the bond, so
Should go down
totals
each
are
year.
gonna go down, yeah, but the rate is fixed.
Thank you.
Motion made by Bob, supported by Steve to approve the budget amendment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Does that need to be a roll call or not?
Yeah, we're not spending anything. All right, approved 2026-2027 budget and general appropriations act.
Who worked on the budget? Who else had to do the budget?
Me, Gloria.
Who was in this? Mark.
Did Julie get covered at all?
Yeah, we had a meeting with Julie. She looked at it.
And your budgets this year are not being done in a big, huge spreadsheet, they're being done in SBNA or BSNA or whatever it's called.
Okay.
So this is right off BSNA, right?
Yeah.
Julie did look it over them, she met with you guys for it.
Okay, so we need to get to our general appropriations, right? We're gonna handle this kind of sold separately. As well, in the budget.
Are you talking about your debt payment?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. So my understanding from, and I'm sorry, it's very noisy here, but, from my understanding, at the last meeting, that Dennis, Christina, Gloria, and Michael worked on the budget. I was called last week to look it over. On Friday, and I came in and talked about it with Mark and Michael after it was completed.
So you came in after others had already worked on it?
Yeah.
So we have Julie on the phone, sorry guys, so, everyone.
But it was talked about at last meeting that Dennis and Christina also helped on it.
Right. Thank you for reminding us of that.
Can I ask why? Just out of curiosity.
Was Mark a part of any of that, or was Mark just a part of when Julie was part of
He kind of started, I don't know how long he's been working on it here.
I started after your meeting, then you developed most of it, but I've reviewed a lot of it, and it seems reasonable. Other areas that I might be different, maybe, but I do budgets different than the way you guys do. And next year, I'll give you 100% confidence that but I can't do that this year.
I'm just gonna take one data point, right off page one, just below center line. Line 101, triple lot, and then 574, it's, state shared revenue. In 2024 to 2025, we received $74,000 plus from the state. In 2025 to 2026, to date, we've received $80,500.
Okay, that
We
was as of I
budgeted
ran.
$110,000 for this current year.
We received an $18,000 payment today, which is not in that.
So that brings us up to 98, but we're still budgeting 110.
Well,
A lot of these,
when I say today, it actually came right, you're gonna get another revenue sharing payment from the state at the end of March. So you're gonna be pretty close to that, amount that's shown.
110,
Yeah.
that'll be on this fiscal year.
Because, you know, what's not included was the 18, so that brings it up to 98. So so you're only 12 short, and the payments for the last couple of months have been around 16, 17, 18 a month.
Okay, and I'm just curious, because you said we got that on March second.
Well, no, I booked it today, I misspoke. It hit the, honor on Friday.
Okay, so we will receive it this fiscal year, an
Yeah.
additional one.
Yeah, one more payment.
Okay, it just appeared to me that a lot of these numbers were carried over the budgeted amount for this year and kind of ignored the actuals for this year as well as the actuals for last year. That's just a, and I don't know when all these things come, if they're quarterly payments or.
Some are quarterly, some are monthly, but,
Right.
you know, the state gives you projections, I found out where you can work off of too, but again, you know, I found this out after their preliminary budget meeting, and I don't think that's ever been looked at before, but sometimes you still gotta fudge because the state's on fiscal responsibility.
So this is the first time that we've seen this budget in this format with these numbers on it. And I think there's a whole bunch of discussion that needs to occur before I'm ready to vote. I'll just throw out another data point. Page number 3, liability insurance. Previous year we paid $25,000. This year we paid $154. And we're budgeting $12,500 for the coming year. I mean, how does our liability insurance go from $25,000 to $150 to we budget $12,500?
Now I was $154.
These are the types of questions, I mean, there's just samples of a lot of questions I have. I think we need to get this out for a lot more than.
I think then we need to have another meeting to discuss the budget further.
Unfortunately, I think that's where we're at.
Alright, sounds like a plan to me, so we're gonna postpone.
Yeah, so what are our action items out of this, so we're ready for that? You know, for example, I have a number of, I'm not hearing about the resolution. There's a lot of things on that. We are giving salaries for most people, but not everybody. So, overtime to not put, for example, Tony Cochran's salary on here. We don't have anything on here for a water sewer operator, money. And there's other things that are just, I see why it's here, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I'm saying that the document doesn't stand on its own. Under planning commission, it says, planning commissioners get $50 per meeting, but under secretary, it says, well, I don't know. Maybe that needs to be on one line, $50 per meeting, plus an additional $20 per meeting. And that's our practice, but I just don't think the document is well written to stand on, so it seems to look at.
Does this have to be done every year?
Yeah, I believe so.
Because our other one we did back in December 2024, and it was like just,
I think we have a resolution just like this from a year ago that we passed with the budget. Is that correct?
So my understanding is when you pass the budget, you only pass the General Appropriations Act and the numbers that are in it. That's really what you pass.
I just, cause like all other committees and boards, 50 per meeting, we've never done that. So I'm not sure what that would be referencing to. At the bottom of this page, and there's just a few things that I'm not understanding.
The last thing I want for a number of reasons is an additional special meeting, but I don't know if we have to. I'm too far from understanding what I'm voting for.
I think it should be a workshop that way, we can hammer it all out and maybe just that, with just the numbers.
Is Julie still here?
Julie?
Are you still here?
I am here.
Oh, I got a question for you.
I mean, you think that the best place for us to be is to, handle this out a lot more, you think we have a lot more work to do on it, or are you, if you were here, would you be ready to vote on it tonight?
I think that we need to postpone it only because we need to have the dissolution committee meeting to kind of work through that budget so we can put an accurate amount into the budget for next year.
I would like very much to see that, and I also recognize that that may not be possible, that we might have to add that after the fact, but I agree, I think that would be highly desirable, so we may not get there.
Yeah, we do need that, but they need, this publication needs a line item. for budget.
Yeah, we can at least give it a line item. With the source numbers, that we can break up into the different general items.
Can you accept one audience comment?
Thank you, Julie.
The township, we do 2 or 3 meetings, you know, through our budget. We go through it as a group, you know, line by line, and that's where you seem to be going. I commend you for that. That's what we do.
Me too.
And we do it 2 or 3 times. I don't think you need to do it 2 or 3 times. You may not have the time now, but doing it once will help everybody understand your budget.
We've handed out the budget at quite a few meetings now, and nobody made a peep about it. I even asked if anybody wants to set up a budget workshop, and nobody said anything about it, and it's the same thing every year we come to these.
I'm not being critical.
No, I'm saying you're right.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm
mean,
just saying
and
you
I
handed out,
commend,
nobody says anything
I
about it.
commend that you're now at this point where you're gonna go through it line by line as a group.
But that should have happened a long time ago.
Aren't you the boss?
But I can't force people to come to meetings.
Well, we could suggest it.
I can call a special meeting and have nobody show up.
Good, good.
All right, we're gonna move on. If everyone's fine with moving on, we'll call a special meeting. It sounds like that's right. All right, unfinished business, Village of Baroda life insurance side-by-side comparison.
What is the current life insurance? Is it only life insurance, because there's also something about the, accidental death and disability?
Yeah, so I'm Dylan, I'm with Colonial Life. I was talking with Michael about potentially switching you guys over what you guys currently have now, and we came across the invoice with what you guys currently have, which is $10,000 in life insurance with accidental death and dismemberment. I had talked to them about doing $10,000 of life insurance at a cheaper rate, but there's no accidental death and dismemberment, and we didn't, and until I saw the invoice that you guys had the accidental death and dismemberment, I wasn't aware of that. So, looking at the cost comparison, current invoice, I think is around like $26 roughly a month for you guys pay. We have an option where we could do the same $10,000 life insurance, $10,000 AD&D, on there, but it had to be at each person's age, and that would increase the payment a month to about $49 and some change on there, which didn't want to, obviously the main reason talking was getting some cost savings, but we also do have $2 a month per employee that's listed. We get 7 listed, so it'd be $14 a month, $10,000 of life insurance for everybody on the board, and then any of the workers that are being covered, and then we could do AD&D for 1 year for free, and then after that it wouldn't be there, it wouldn't be available. But you would have $8, you'd have a significantly cheaper a month bill for light coverage. Obviously you lose that AD&D after the second year, after the first year. But just wanted to, when I talked with Gloria, and they didn't want to make any decisions and saying what they want to do. So yeah, that's really this kind of where we're at with everything. What was that?
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
So how much is it to keep the AD&D after a year?
So if we did it the one way with the free day Indian year, to do it the second year, we'd have to reassess and do another group rate, which then could go up to that $49 amount that we had tried to avoid essentially there. So, again, this is one thing we were trying to get some cost savings. I think one thing that the village liked was being able to offer some benefits to the staff. Anyone there can get, dental or disability plan, cancer plans, different things just to help pay medical bills and and help you out there. So even if we aren't able to specifically save money on the life insurance and in that way, we're still able to offer some benefits to the staff and everything at no cost to the village and there. So just want to make that a known thing too.
Yeah, when it was requested that we make the switch, that's why I asked for the side-by-side, and it looks to me like what we have currently is, we're currently being 26.78, we'll let the bills off for 49.40.
Yeah.
On the Wi-Fi switch.
Yeah, our employees are slated to get the benefits of those switching, correct?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like anyone still wants to get. Like I've had a couple employees reach out. They want, interested in looking at least dental and stuff, and that's on them. That their paychecks, and but yeah, just the village makes it available, and we can still work together. And that's something we can always look at down the road. Maybe get reassessed and do another quote. See if we can save money down the road. So. Yeah.
Oh, does anybody wanna make a motion to switch? Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, no worries, man.
All right, this appropriation.
I'd like to request that we allow the village commission members an opportunity to make like a pre-statement before going into the meetings with the township. I know we have 2 of them tonight, and if it's okay, I would like for them to give us a little bit of information on how they feel about going into this, and being that we do have a lot of the people from the village here, I think it would be
Okay, so I'm gonna be factually accurate and address some things, but I'm a little nervous with the Open Meetings Act, and I have a problem with the public being outside and can't hear. So if it's okay with the village council, if Steve can maybe move over where Julie is, we could bring this table and maybe get the general public over here also to hear what we're discussing.
Very grateful for that.
Do you mind?
For everybody, this is Brad. If you're not familiar, Brad is on our disincorporation committee with the village, along with Nikki and Julie, who is
If anybody wants to come in and be part of this.
There's a couple of chairs over here.
There you go.
I can do that. I got some handouts here. Go along. You're welcome. There's some more handouts if everybody wants to pass them out or take one, pass them down. Good, I'm good. For the record.
Mommy.
You're welcome.
Hey, right here.
I'll stand.
I've got a copy of that at home.
Stand over here. All right. Sorry, I didn't expect this much of a crowd, but this is a very important matter. So I just wanted to start off and thank everyone for coming out tonight. If you may not know me, my name's Brad Mattner. And I appreciate you coming out to engage this important decision. I would also like to thank the Village Council for the trust placed in me by selecting me to serve as one of the village appointees to the Disincorporation Commission. For transparency, I want to be clear about my role. I have been selected as a village representative to the Disincorporation Commission. However, the commission has not yet met and has not been sworn in. Because of that, I am speaking tonight strictly as a resident who believes strongly in protecting the integrity of the statutory process. I'm not here to argue for or against disincorporation. My comments tonight are about process only. Whatever the final outcome may be, it's important that it rests on foundation that strictly follows the law as written so the public can have confidence in it. Because of Act 3 of 1895, specifically MCL 74.18A, is detailed and somewhat complex, I have prepared my remarks to ensure accuracy and clarity. Usually I would speak off the cuff, but this is a very detailed process. Please be followed. So for context, on January 28, 2026, the village president and village clerk were notified by email that a petition for disincorporation had been received and certified by the township clerk. The remainder of the village council was informed on February 2nd, 2026, prior to that evening's council meeting. At that meeting, a resolution to form a disincorporation commission was presented and approved. On February 12, 2026, the village held a special meeting to appoint its 3 commission members. Selected were Julie Elliott, Nikki Andrews, and myself. The commission initially scheduled its first meeting for February 23rd, and proper notices were issued. That meeting was later canceled due to scheduling conflicts on the township side. The first meeting is now scheduled for March 12th. I share this timeline simply to explain how we arrived at this point procedurally. So before a commission can develop a plan, it's important to understand how the process began. The process began with a petition. Therefore, the starting point is the petition itself. I obtained copies of the petition through the Freedom of Information Act. There are 15 pages of signatures. While reviewing the petition, I noticed the word disincorporation was misspelled on multiple pages. And they had corrections above it. Spelling errors by themselves are not the issue. However, that prompted me to review the petition language very carefully and compare it directly against the statute. The concerns I'm raising tonight are limited strictly to statutory compliance. In front of you is a handout containing a screenshot of the first petition page and the relevant portion of the act verbatim. So I'd like to read the act directly. MCL 74.18A1. To initiate the disincorporation of a village, a petition signed by not less than 15% of the registered electors of the village requesting a vote on the question of whether the village shall disincorporate shall be filed with the township clerk. MCL 74.18A2. A petition shall designate the township or townships
into which the village is proposed to be disincorporated. A village shall be disincorporated into a township or townships in which it's located along existing township boundaries. MCL 74.18A4. Not more than 14 days after the petition is filed, the township clerk shall verify the signatures and determine the sufficiency of the petition. Now I'll read the petition language as circulated. I am reading it exactly as it appears. The pre-printed portion states, "We, the undersigned, qualified and registered electors, residents in the village of Baroda, in the county of Berrien, state of Michigan, respectfully petition for." This is where the handwriting starts. Disincorporation of the village of Baroda under 74.18A, Act 3 of 1895, Village of Baroda be vacated into Baroda Township, which is located along existing boundaries of Lingo Road, Hollywood Road, Browntown Road, and Holden Road. Concern number 1, requesting a vote. Under MCL 74.18A1, the statute requires 2 things. A petition signed by not less than 15% of the registered electors, and then a petition requesting a vote on the question of whether the village shall disincorporate. At this time, I'm not disputing the 15% signature threshold. My concern relates to the second requirement. The statute language specifically requires that the petition request a vote on the question of whether the village shall disincorporate. The petition language as written does not contain words requesting a vote. This is my concern number 1. Concern number 2, under MCL 74.18A2, the statute states, "The village shall be disincorporated into the township or townships in which it is located along existing township boundaries." The petition language states, "Village of Baroda be vacated into Baroda Township." The statute uses the phrase, "shall be disincorporated into." The petition uses the phrase, "be vacated into." That distinction raises a question of statutory alignment. That's concern number 2. Concern number 3, still under MCL 74.18A2, the statute requires that disincorporation occur along existing township boundaries. The petition references specific boundary roads: Lingo Road, Hollywood Road, Browntown Road, and Holden Road. However, public available boundary descriptions on the Baroda Township website include Heartland Road as part of their boundary, which is not referenced in the petition language. That raises a question on whether the boundary designation in the petition fully reflects existing township boundaries. That is concern number 3. Concern number 4. Under MCL 74.18A4, the township clerk is required to verify the signatures and determine the sufficiency of the petition. My comments tonight are not about signatures. The question for clarification is whether the statutory language requirements contained in the subsection 1 and 2 were analyzed as part of the sufficiency determination as part of the Act. That's concern number 4. In closing, I want to be very clear. I am not alleging wrongdoing. Disincorporation petitions are rare, and the statute is detailed. However, when the statute uses precise language and the petition uses different language, it is important that we pause and ensure those differences do not affect legal sufficiency. Because the petition language differs from the statutory language in several material respects, I believe it's appropriate for the village to obtain written legal opinion. Disincorporation is significant and permanent. Whether direction ultimately goes, whatever direction this ultimately goes, the public deserves confidence that every statutory requirement has been satisfied exactly as written. For that reason, I respectfully suggest that the village council consider directing the village attorney to prepare a written legal review addressing compliance with MCL 74.18A1, MCL 74.182, MCL 74.18A4. My goal is simple, to protect the integrity of the process and maintain public trust in the outcome. So, I want to talk about public trust. And I really hate to go down this rabbit hole. I really do. About 4:30 tonight, I received an email from the Berrien County Attorney Thaddeus Haxworth. His email supply to us was 523 pages from the township clerk to the county planning this disincorporation. This started Wednesday, February 12th, 2025. Here's the email from Christina Price from her Baroda Township computer. Hi, Christy. Thank you for reaching out. I am the one who is pursuing this as a village resident, but holds office as township clerk. The township supervisor and myself have been digging into this. The village president is also on board as well. I want to make sure I do this correctly and have all the facts. I have planned to have people circulate the petition forms to get help and get the information out before this happens to the village residents. Unless that is campaigning, and I can't. That is ridiculous.
What do you know?
There.
No, I know, seriously, I wanna.
I'll be happy to give you 523 pages. From BOE.
Year of election.
No,
Yes.
we're letting Brad talk.
And for the
Brad
county,
has to
so
speak.
thank you.
We're gonna let Brad speak.
So also on Wednesday, February 12th, 2025, this is when this all started. The county clerk, Stacy Porter, sends you an email. I would strongly recommend you not be involved with the petition drive. Strongly involved. Said there could be situations of being liable. Really? I have 523 pages with Christina Price using township email, township's equipment to form this incorporation. And planning this with a township supervisor, and then with the president?
Wow.
This is what needs to be heard.
This
is what we need public trust. Public trust. I ask that you would please do not bash village board per se. They have not created this. This is wound up in their hands, and this is far from over. The Bureau of Elections also is working on sending me all the details and all the emails from the township.
I think we need a disincorporation attorney like yesterday to.
So I don't know how.
Because I have heard, I don't know if this is true, but I have heard that our.
Can I get a copy?
Village.
You should have it all in your email.
No, I do, but I didn't.
We're not doing, I will repeat myself. I think we need to get a disincorporation attorney as of yesterday, because I have been informed that our village attorney does not want to get involved because it is a conflict of interest. And we need a disincorporation attorney to be from the get-go and hear all of these concerns.
Yep. Do you think that should be brought up tonight? Do you have to vote on that? I think you should vote on it if you have to do it.
I don't know how that all goes, being that the disincorporation hasn't actually even had a meeting.
There's so much conflict
so-
of interest. I don't even know how you
We're in such a
guys.
difficult situation because we have a very hard time moving forward, being that the disincorporation has to vote and determine these things, but yet that they haven't met yet.
Oh.
They haven't been able to. But I think, but the village is funding it. Well, we have to, the village has to fund it. But we need an attorney from the very beginning to follow this entire thing. I don't want an attorney coming in 2, 3, 4 meetings into it. I don't know how to proceed with this.
The conflict of interest was mentioned multiple times in past meetings.
Yes, but.
And rumor has it that Dennis wants to appoint Michael to the last commissioner position for the township. Tomorrow night.
Okay, well, we're not going into that right now. I'm just, how do we proceed moving forward with our village having legal counsel, being that our village attorney does not want to?
Because our trust is being
Yeah, this is a very specialized area of law, I mean, municipal
Yes.
law is specialized, and this is a micro component that we absolutely need to seek somebody out to the extent that there would be someone who specializes just in that, find that person. And so, do any of you, Nikki, have you talked to any of the communities who have gone through this process in the past?
I know Brad has resources, that there is a firm that has gone legally through this process twice, and that wasn't able to.
You were trying to get earmarked so we can track this. They have not, the one is going through it again. They estimated back in '87, it cost them between $35,000 and $45,000.
That's all?
There's a village that did it in I went to Clerk Trade. They started the process that year, and I had them contact, I could give you that information, so you can contact them and see if they use it. And they did it.
So,
I know, it's hard, cause I really honestly want like a set in stone answer where we're going attorney-wise moving forward with this, but I don't know.
so
We'll have to think about it.
in the vein of even starting this, obviously we have started it and we don't have time to burn to check everything sequentially. We kind of have to move them on parallel, otherwise the deadline really hits. So, we do have our village attorney, and our village attorney, I think, is fully capable of, reviewing these concerns with this petition and, giving us an opinion on that. So, I'll make a motion, the village council requests a written legal opinion from the village attorney regarding whether the disincorporation.
Yeah, I'm gonna write out.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can make me a copy or, yeah, just so I can. Thanks.
So, make a motion, the village council request a written legal opinion from the village attorney regarding whether the disincorporation petition complies with MCL 74.18 Alpha 1 and MCL 74.18 Alpha 2 and 74.18 Alpha 4, and that the opinion be presented to the council at the earliest available meeting.
Can I add one more thing, Bob?
Please.
Oh, you got a motion on the floor, I'm sorry.
It hasn't been seconded.
So just to add some more context, today I received an email from Christina Price with 12 different documents that they already had this all planned out. The commission meeting structure, the village overview, village industrial.
That I sent
all-
to both attorneys.
We've got the, excuse me, I'm talking, I have the
Brad,
floor.
because you're slandering me.
There's a motion.
So-
You're hearing me.
Brad's done talking, everyone's done talking. Let's
There's
move
more
forward.
emails from the BOE, there's more emails from the
Okay.
Zuckerberg.
Okay. Conclusion.
So.
Wow, dang.
All right, Bob made a motion. Do you mind repeating it again?
Make a motion that the village council request a written legal opinion from the village attorney regarding whether the discorporation petition complies with MCL 74.18 Alpha 1, 74.18 Alpha 2, and 74.18 Alpha 4, and that the opinion be presented to the council at the earliest available meeting.
I'll second.
All right, supported by Katie. Any more council discussion on it? Yes. All right, do a vote. Bob made the motion, supported by Katie. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, did you have anything, Nikki, under this incorporation commission?
I wrote, oh, no, yeah, you go.
I wrote this a couple days ago for everybody, as I was thinking about all this. So this is already pre-written. As we enter the process that involves the possible dissolution of the village board, I remind myself and our community at large that we have a moral imperative to serve the residents of Baroda. The choices we morally and legally choose to make are best made without any hidden agendas. Transparency will tend to reveal personal and group agendas that are self-serving. I encourage each of us to work within the spirit of cooperation, not competition.
Well said.
Very well said.
Yeah, I have a good question. So it was brought to my attention that when you guys had the meeting with the attorney, that the clerk was there?
The letter office?
Yes.
Yes.
And the reason for that was?
Because her job is to be a part of the meeting.
That was the meeting, that was the forum.
No, the district corporation. She's the clerk for the district corporation.
Was it on the village, like the village time?
Yes.
So I just don't understand why she would need to go to that. If it was for the village, it wasn't a disincorporation meeting, it was a village meeting.
Yes, but the district corporation is going to be funded by the village. She's the clerk for that.
Does she go to all the township attorney meetings as well then, since she was part of that?
I don't think that they've had any meetings on that.
I just didn't see the reason for her to need to go to that.
I think it's very important for the clerk of the district corporation commission to meet with the attorney.
No, I'm not saying that, I'm saying in that situation though.
That's a lot to place on an employee. All right, anything else for district corporation?
First, for clarification, I thought earlier in this meeting, the attorney for the village said that he was not able to take care of disincorporation because it's not his field.
Their suggestion was for the district corporation commission to have their own separate attorney. But at this first meeting, both attorneys will be there.
So both the village attorney plus another attorney will be
The
there.
township. Yeah.
And they are aware of the laws for disincorporation?
Yeah.
That's why they said they wanna have their own for the district corporation committee.
And the village will pay for all of that.
Well, Jessica Fed is the village attorney, my name's Greg Ward. She's also our attorney, the attorney TJ's. She's had to recruit herself from anything, opinions giving us, she's been clerk of board, we've used her for 16 years, she's amazing, I have 100% confidence in Jessica Fed as the village attorney.
Can I just say the village, we don't have a choice to pay for it.
Yeah.
So this disincorporation is all on the village taxpayer dollars because not because we chose to take on the cost.
Are they gonna have a meeting a month, or how's that work?
I think they're planning on 2 months.
2 months?
Yeah, they have to figure it out if they all going.
Okay.
Brad had mentioned that there was to be a vote at the very early stages of this, that the village needed to choose 3 people for this commission, and that there needed to be a vote. Was it a vote that the village was going to accept this petition for disincorporation? Did the village have to accept the petition for disincorporation and the township? I guess I'm a little unclear on that. I mean, the petition is just hurry up and file this Berrien County, and now you have to live with it. Thank you very much.
There's no way to unring that bell?
It's gonna be challenging circuit court.
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah, unless the petition is, unless petition is down, take it down.
Go ahead.
If the signatures are verified by the township clerk, are they then forwarded to the county clerk for verification?
Is it a conflict of interest for her to verify the signatures?
No.
No? It's not?
Strongly discouraged.
All right, any other council member
Is there an answer
questions?
to that, like, is it forwarded to the county after that, or is it just verified with the township clerk?
It goes to the county.
It does not, it's verified by the clerk.
So
It
if
doesn't
the
go to
wording
county
is
until the
incorrect,
answer.
it could potentially not be valid, and the village is gonna start spending money already?
And we wouldn't know it because nobody has checked double checked it.
attorney to sue,
We'll send this to the attorney.
Don't we have enough to?
Well, we already made a motion to send it to the attorney, so we'll send it and see.
And the township attorney is involved and has reviewed all the documents as well.
All right, anything else for disincorporation?
Are these dates listed on these new dates and new meetings listed on the website, or how do we find out when there's a special meeting so that we can all be informed?
March 12th.
March 12th at 6:30. I don't know if we posted.
I think all the village citizens need to be more attending.
Are you accepting audience questions?
Go ahead.
I just have one. I'm just wondering, because I'm hearing a lot of questions questioning the legality of the documents versus anything, whether this is a good idea or not. I'm not hearing anything on an actual proof of, is this gonna be good for the community or is it gonna be bad? Is that something that we're looking into, or is that's just merely a legality?
That's what the disincorporation committee will get together and figure out.
All right.
She'll have to go to.
So in the meantime, we're questioning the legality of it? Okay.
Yep. All right, committees, finance committee?
I think informed things.
Finance committee? Everybody got it?
I think that's what really.
Right.
All right, personnel committee, anybody got anything?
Yes, I don't know what the date was that we voted to purchase a recorder to record our meetings, so that we can have something reliable to make our minutes from. We do have one, we purchased one. Okay, so we purchased it, but we don't use it?
Wow. Money well spent.
I'm unclear about why it is that the only recording of all these meetings is on my phone.
I thank you.
It would provide benefit when the clerk is making minutes, so that Katie doesn't have to write down a motion, so we would have something reliable. I'm totally aghast that we have a board who votes to do something, and then we have an office that just refuses to do what the board directs them to do.
We purchased a laptop and a recorder when Amber was our clerk specifically for this. Like if we purchased an actual laptop device and a recorder.
From my
It was
understanding,
almost
the
a $500
laptop
plus
though
expense.
picked up everything, and it was more of a jumbled mess for Debbie, wasn't it?
That's what I heard.
Than helpful.
Then somebody's not using it right, because Donna was doing it on her own computer and helped Amber pick out the very specific equipment so that it would be suitable, because the recorder that we had was not reliable. And it was an over $500 expense.
Take the floor back. I'm gonna move ahead and thank all of you for being here. I hope that we continue this level, maybe not, honestly, maybe not this level of engagement, but I do hope that to see people dropping into our meetings periodically. Tell a neighbor, if one person on your street came to each meeting, and we had, 20 people in here at each meeting, I think that would be a very healthy thing for our accountability. So I appreciate you spending your evening being here. I do hope that it's not a flash in the pan and we have all this interest and then we get back to having one member in the audience.
I was gonna say, for reference, we usually have about 5 people here.
Yeah, I got some.
Consistently.
I've been here for 45 years next week. This is the first meeting I've been to, and I can't hear none of you guys up there. You need to stand up and talk.
That is a big problem.
Thank you.
Matter of a microphone.
Yeah, thank you for being here, sir.
So I didn't hear half the stuff what you guys said, so.
Okay, we'll work on that, thank you.
Yeah.
So there will be, just for those of you who are new to coming to these meetings, coming up on the agenda is audience comments, and every one of you has, I don't recall if it's 2 or 3 minutes that you can speak. So, so you'll have your opportunity, and that would be a totally appropriate thing to share with us, so we do need to hear that, and I appreciate that. So I do thank you all for being here, spending your time. Having said that, we absolutely, I think we're gonna continue to have a good public audience, and together with the recorder, I think we need to have a clock so that every time somebody starts speaking, we start our 3-minute timer, because what we're gonna run into is we'll just ignore people and someone will go on for 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, and then we'll, hey, I think that's probably been long enough. And then someone's gonna say something that we really don't like to hear. And we're gonna start getting stingy with their 3 minutes, and then we're gonna find ourselves, not only is it the wrong thing to do, but we're gonna find ourselves in court over it. So, we need a clock. Do I need to make a motion to purchase the clock and have it on the table before we get to the next meeting? Or we need make a motion to purchase a random clock that can be used for audience comments, that it will be used in all future meetings.
A second.
I made a motion supported by Steve. Everybody got a motion? I made a motion to purchase the countdown clock.
To be used in all future public meetings.
All right, supported by Steve. All in favor, say aye.
Along with this, I don't know what we have available to us for alternate locations, but if this is not acceptable, and honestly, I should have, I appreciate Brad for mentioning it, and I wish I would've thought about it. Not only is it not right that people are standing out in the hallway and can't hear, but it's a legal problem as well. So, what alternate locations do we have that we can adjourn
Fire
to?
station? Fire station or Legion?
What about the township of elevator?
It's only 5 feet long. The township, the rental hall.
Right next to the
They
fire.
measured it, it's
Attached
only
to
five.
the-
Seems
bigger, but I don't think it is.
Okay, so we need to have a plan, I'll just by show of hands, I'll try this. By show of hands, how many of you think you will come to, several more meetings? It looks like virtually everybody, except for the people in the hallways and can't hear.
They'll come early next time.
Is Legion available? Could we rent that? We have to come up with something when I saw this. Basically, by statute, have to call the meeting to order in the council chambers, and then they, every day, every meeting, has to go to a different location. So,
Where did they hold the one for the,
here's the call. I believe those are all my comments. Thank you all for your engagement. Brad, I thank you for all your research, and I understand that some of this FOIA information has come to you as significant financial, personal financial events. Thank you.
Can I say something?
During audience comments.
Okay.
Do you have anything, Nikki? Anything, Steve?
I'd just like to say I've lived in the village here now for 4 years, and I love living here, and I truly appreciate seeing this turnout tonight. This is great. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, you all should speak up like that.
Yeah, that's much better.
So I have.
Yeah, music in the park, bands and food trucks, and then
Can't hear you.
music in the park, bands and food trucks.
We have all the bands.
Like I'm yelling at you guys, sorry.
I don't know about food trucks. I'll have to double check. I know we have 3 bands.
Okay, so go with the bands, so we're looking at the food trucks. And then the basketball court is here, and then we're waiting for better weather, which not supposed to rain, but have those looked into being scheduled.
Yeah, I was gonna hound them and see if they can come down. They're supposed to come back. I think it was in March, I went.
Can we, reach out to them and just see if we can get in their schedule?
Yeah, that was my plan.
Thank you.
business comments, the only thing I'm gonna say is I said from the get-go that this incorporation thing was a big waste of money. I'm always against it. All right, audience comments? Go ahead.
So I found the email that Fred was referencing. I was seeking advice from the Bureau of Elections. The last sentence said, I want to make sure that I'm playing by the book and not breaking any laws. There's other emails as well that I sent out because there was a lot of talk going on. So you can take certain statements, certain emails, and you can pick and choose what you're saying off of them. And the email from Stacy, she did say that because there was the Whiteheads that were interested in it. And she was telling me, you know, make sure you stay back. Make sure you don't get involved as an elected official. So there are more emails than just what was being referenced. And Fred, I missed what you said. You said I sent 532 documents?
No, but
It was 532 pages
Pages.
because they sent let me tell you, they sent every conversation over and over again. So if there was a response, it did all the other ones. So it was that many pages, but not that many emails.
With your township email address,
Correct,
not
yes.
a private
Talking.
resident email address, to be clear.
Yes.
I use my personal email address for different things and not my business or my municipal email address.
So I was seeking advice. That was my intentions on that. So
How the
that,
township's done with the township email.
But the very first response was, I'm the one doing this. Dennis and I have been talking about this and doing pros and cons
correct.
before when.
And then I backed off.
Oh.
And there's other emails.
But this whole time, you've always said you
No,
want
I
about
backed
this.
off as looking
This is
at
Chris, hey,
Can
she
I-
was told the right
Yes.
to talk, yes, she gets to finish her comment, she gets her 3 minutes, we're gonna be respectful.
So I was trying to clear between a village resident and elected official. So yes, I did send that, there's other emails, but, I mean, you guys are gonna have your opinions, but. I don't know.
All right,
There's
who's
just
next?
more
Go
to
ahead.
Before I go, I just want to say that lady in the red speech, some of all this crap you're going through, because y'all created it. Her speech was about transparency and being morally and legally responsible for your residents. If I have no self-pride, I'll have none of you, sir. So I say to you, what you said sets the whole damn stage, what y'all gotta do. But I've enjoyed this, it's not been boring.
Go ahead.
First of all, they all didn't create it. There was just a handful of people who did create this mess. Second of all, I would like to know, is there any outstanding grants that the village has and is working on?
What do you mean by grants?
Like, a lot of times we get grants for improvement for township park, or for village parks and things like that. Are there any outstanding grants and all that? I'm trying to look to see what kind of outstanding money and things could really, the township people need to be aware of all this stuff. We know that you have a huge debt. Is there any grants that are out there working on, or that anybody's working on that, if this disincorporation happens to maybe go through, that we would have to figure out how we're gonna finish paying for this and all that other kind of stuff. And finance meeting, we'd like to know when that's gonna be.
Aren't there 2 grants for the roads?
The last grant we had was for Lemon Creek.
And is it gone and done, or is it still active?
Yeah.
It's done?
Yeah.
So there's no other grant?
Nope.
Okay. And finance meeting date?
We don't know, we haven't set that up
We'll have to
yet,
get with everybody.
Thank you.
but that will be,
So, excuse me, is there any way to have a show of hands here of how many people are at this meeting from the village residents and how many people are here from the township? Let's see what we got.
Village.
Village. All right, township.
I mean, technically, they're all township too.
So that's, this is why you got this many people.
Well, the township's gonna have the same thing.
But I mean,
all right.
we're gonna be the ones taking it on.
Yeah.
We're taking on all this stuff. I'm taking on whatever you guys got going on.
You didn't have to.
Well, I'm gonna have to if it passes. Yeah, I've lived here my whole life.
You get to vote though.
Let's hope.
And
No,
we
you
can
do.
go door to door to help people choose their vote.
Huh?
We can go door to door to help people choose their vote, just like a couple of other people did when they signed the petition.
I'd like to know what you got to gain by it. I mean, what you really had to gain. you're gonna lose your village tax.
Yeah,
And
you
you're
know how
gonna
much it
keep
is?
your township tax. But
This is
how do you
part of the
operate a
committee.
village
Without a.
that you've been paying for with your village tax? How are you gonna pick your leaves up and
Oh, that's
how are
gonna
they gonna
be
do
special
it?
assessments, honey.
Alright.
Huh?
It's gonna be special assessments.
And that's gonna raise my taxes.
Raise mine.
It's his turn, he's gonna finish.
Well, I can't help it, I
his
didn't
term.
decide to move in the village. I would've moved out of the township if I was worried about paying village tax and township tax. That's the kind of thing I would look at.
So she's been all left alone, eh?
Huh?
She's been left.
Been this way forever. I don't know what to tell you, I mean, you can't live behind your means.
Alright, next audience.
First off, sir, I would recommend you come to the disincorporation meetings, because that's
Oh, I will.
who's determining the plan. Secondly, I encourage all township people to go to the township meetings as well.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, there's a
I
special
don't know
meeting.
nothing about these meetings.
Tomorrow night, there's a special meeting to, get their third person on. I think people should come to.
So what time is the meeting tomorrow?
I don't know.
That's
6 o'clock.
6:30.
6 o'clock.
6:30 on the website.
Yeah, so, I just wanted to make a comment about the Disincorporation Commission and my thoughts as a citizen about what it ought to do in a broad, high-level sense, which is to shed light so that everyone has a really clear understanding of what the village is, how it operates, and you start there without prejudice about what should happen in a merged village township, so that when the vote occurs, or when the village dissolution commission keeps on and then has to talk about the merger, all the facts are on the table about how the village operates, its budget, etc. So I'm just, sort of making a recommendation about a general way to proceed. Start with understanding the village deeply and well. I want to commend Mr. Mattner for, bringing facts forward, and that's going to help, to put this on a substantial basis, and you do need to check out whether, it's all on a substantial basis or not, so that you proceed solidly. That's, and transparency is key. So I just wanted to make a comment about how to proceed. Understand the village thoroughly, then go into how a merged entity might look, as part of your plan. That's all.
Go ahead.
My name's Adam Scheller. I am not a resident of the village per se, but I've worked full-time here for 16 years. I'm part owner of Lakeshore Diecast, full owner of Pigmaster. I employ 50 people full-time in the village, which I think is probably one of the largest full-time employers in town. I think, first, just point of order with the village council, you gotta be stingy with people's time and who's talking. I know we're pretty friendly here in Baroda, we like to have an open conversation and stuff, but to keep it civil with all these different opinions and stuff, we're gonna have to be particular about it. I think that, from what I can see, we had 15% of the village residents come forward with an idea for dissolution and sign a petition. I don't know what they were thinking, but I think that the process where we form the committee and we look at it and we hear the pros and cons is very important for figuring out maybe why they thought that way and figuring out what the ramifications would be for the township and the village. So thinking through the process and making sure we do the process correctly, as Brad talked about, I think is of the utmost importance, especially as we go through something potentially complicated with ramifications on the livelihoods of the people who live here. So all of that I think is very important. I think, me personally, one of the reasons why I've enjoyed doing business in the village and why I still do is because we have a laid back atmosphere. We have taxes that are relatively low. When we talk about administrative overhead, I mean, how many people work in the village? I saw the budget, it's like, what, $200,000? It's like nothing for a municipality. Truly, it's really low. So when we think about this being some complicated government structure that we're trying to get rid of or something, it's just not that way. Looking at the budget, while there might be some questions, came in pretty close estimate to actual the past 6 years, even with some changeover in staff and things like that. So I think that the village has done with minimal staffing, a great job supporting me as a business owner here over the years. And I think that the structure that we have in place has really worked well to facilitate people who want to live and work here. I think as we go into this process, we should consider what we've done so far and how things are working and, kind of appreciate what we have. So those are my comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Mel.
The council member is no longer getting a copy of the monthly bills, but they can review them and not just getting a list of what they're paying. Okay. We had park donations prior to my exit in August of 2024. And to my recommendation of going to the park today, I still am not able to locate the sign that was supposed to be hung with all of the local businesses, including Mr. Schaller, who donated to that park equipment. So is there any status update on that sign?
That's in the office, we're waiting for screws to put it together.
Well, maybe we could work on that, because it's been a pretty long time since our local businesses can take care of that. And then my last question is, we have a clerk that came with a lot of experience from another municipality, and you've been our longtime village president, and you've been small for budget. So why exactly are we including elected officials from the township in our budget meetings for the village of Baroda? That seems like a real big conflict of interest to me.
Any other audience comments?
Yep.
Oh, go ahead.
Can you answer the question?
It's audience comments, not questions, but I will answer it. We got people over here that we share a building with that have years and years and years of years.
On our elected board, our paid and there's rules in your actual general law of village book that you might want to look at.
I'm sure I've read them probably more than anyone in this room. Go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna help out with a question you asked. What were people thinking? I'm one of the idiots who signed it and is pretty pissed off about it, but I'm gonna be as nice as I can.
What is your name?
My name's Jordan. Yeah, all right. I'll be plenty loud too. I'm trying to keep together. So, real quick summary. I'm out at my house and I have two people walk up, Mr. Whitehead and Mrs. Price. They came and asked me a question. Mr. Whitehead first, hey, you want to save on your taxes? Candid response, who the hell wouldn't, right? We're trying to be honest here. How would you do that? Blank stare. No answers for me. I was informed from her a plan of, well, we need to start looking into how we could potentially spend our money a little more responsibly. Hey, I actually like that idea. I think most businesses should look into their spend, reflect constantly. That's not what this is, clearly. So I'm gonna leave it at that. That's what happens. You get told one thing, and it's not really what it is. So I'm gonna end with that. The other thing, I'm gonna try to end on a positive, all right? Some positives, I haven't heard hardly any. So thank you to anyone who's on our commissions and our groups that take care of our roads, our waste, all the snow plows. I get up every single morning very early. I travel all over this area. There's not an area that gets plowed as fast as we do downtown. I promise you. Stevensville starting around 6 a.m. We're done here at 4. So thank you. If anyone's here, if you can share that to those groups. I don't know the guys. I see them every once in a while. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. It's great work. Well, feel free to share that. I wanted to at least put that out. And if you guys need some screws or a plot, I'll buy the damn thing as long as you promise to use it. All right? I'm happy to do it. All right? Let me know. Pick one on Amazon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, did we get any kind of donation towards the music in the park this year?
I asked from Honor, I think it was last year, they denied us. They have confirmed it.
None of the other local businesses are.
I have an
CGA. They can't.
That's an idea.
Oh, they said it'd take a couple of years, so
Have we had donations in the past?
yes. Yeah.
I think Shell Hill did 1 year.
I mean, $50 from this business and $50 from that business, I mean, it would offset some of the cost, I guess.
Maybe something for our, don't we have a park committee?
No. They eliminated.
Oh, sorry.
Any other audience comments? Go ahead.
I have a question about the budget planning, going along with the same question of why the township is involved in the village budget planning. I myself FOIA'd information about the budget planning and who was involved in that, and I also asked for an intergovernmental agreement. Is there an intergovernmental agreement on file that allows them to help with the village budget?
Gloria requested us, the village?
Yes, I sent it. Gloria responded back. She also notified me that she has no record of anything that happened prior to her hire. And then there was no agreement. I was told to go to the township clerk, but that should be on file and should have been voted by the village council to allow the township to be a part of managing our budget and preparing our budget.
They don't manage our budget, all we do is we run things.
Preparing it, I misspoke.
All right, any other audience comments?
Yep, so the township, we started helping 3 years ago.
Already had 3 minutes. You had 10 minutes.
You've had 3 minutes already. No, you've had 3 minutes.
Let's go through everybody once first.
So clarification on the budget, we started helping the village 3 years ago. I took all of you village council members, line item by line, I've never seen that here, to show you and teach you your budget. You guys have not taken your budget serious in years, and I really hope that you go and start doing that.
Go ahead.
That is why we help. Oh, go ahead.
Hi. Just some food for thought for Brad and the committee. The typical township size in Michigan is 36 square miles. In 1923, Baroda split off from Lake Township. Not everybody knows this. So they're 18.6 miles. We're 18 miles. And it makes more sense if we're going to do a dissolution, we go back to the pre-1923 borders and become part of Lake. Not that I want to, but it's something for you guys to think about. And right now, the state of Indiana's got a bill in session, Indiana Senate Bill 270. They're getting rid of a lot of its smaller and underperforming townships, merging to make a larger township. The reason we have townships is because in the old days, the farmers couldn't get to the county seat. They would take their wagons, well, we had to make townships. That's almost a thing that's obsolete. Townships are in New England and the Midwest, not in the South. They came with the people from New England, and they ended up as far as it went. So just something to think about. We're going to dissolve something that's something we can think about.
All right, any other audience comments?
I've asked several times in the past for the name of the ordinances, to enforce the ordinances. I've been told for the last decade that there are no ordinances pertaining to the culvert maintenance. It's taken a decade to discover that there actually are ordinances that pertain to the village of Baroda drainage system. I have a letter here from the drain commissioner that spells out with a map what is included and what is not included, their responsibility. As everyone here on the trustees received this is an ordinance that proves that this village has responsibility to maintain its culverts and its ditches. I've been here for years and years and years requesting the maintenance of the culverts that were put on Hills Road that have never been maintained in 14 years. It is affecting my structure that's nearly 100 years old, and the oldest in the village. I spent 35 years restoring this building, only to discover that a clogged ditch doesn't drain water, and it's never been maintained. And I'd like this body's members, and not to end on a poor note, I think a lot of things that are happening here are wonderful. I think we keep a budget, like this gentleman came in and said that we really keep our money where it needs to be. But this is now a time where I want these people to come together, and I don't want to ever be told again that there isn't an ordinance in this village. It was dated January 15th, 1917. It was eradicated and amended in 1995, long before the culvert and ditches were put on Hills Road. The damage being done to my home is beyond belief. I had a dry root cellar functioning. I run 2 dehumidifiers 24/7. I still have 75% moisture happening in my home. And it's because the culvert on Hills Road does not function and hasn't functioned for many years.
Do you have your standing in water in your yard currently?
There is standing water in the culvert. Are the pictures just from the last snow melt?
Today?
No, not today, but when there's torrential rains, when there's excessive amounts of snow, it doesn't drain.
Is there any flowing over the road?
It is changing the water table according to Ben Neidlinger, who has been to my home as a foundational expert. He sees that the cracking in the foundation is because the center of the home is supported and the outside of the foundation is now sinking because the water table is now changing. The Sonoma Court was built across the street from me. I've tried for 10 years now to get anybody to show me the legal documents that did a land survey for the drainage for that subdivision, which has never been brought to light. So was there a land study done for the drainage for the water? Because according to the drain commissioner, it is not their problem. It is not the road commission problem, it's not the state's problem, it's not the county problem, it's not the township problem. It's the villages that needs to take care of that issue. And again, I've been after this for now pushing 12 years, and there is an ordinance in this community that covers that, so.
So while I am sympathetic of your basement issues, there are numerous houses on Hills Road, and none of them have ever mentioned any issues.
Because they're
There's
content to have
not.
moldy basements, sir, I've talked to them. I have a seizure issue, I cannot have mold in my home. So rather than having a dry root cellar for my vegetables
We
in the
have
winter.
discussed, we are looking into it, but unfortunately during wintertime operations, it's
But
not
again, that's been
necessarily
going on
feasible.
for years, sir.
It is
But I
an
was
issue.
told that I had to hire a private contractor to auger out my drainage ditch by Mr. Price.
I
But in
never said that.
actuality, you did, sir. You asked me to hire a private company to auger out the culvert.
basement.
I think he
No, then-
discussed waterproofing your basement.
Then you asked me about waterproofing my basement, and why would you waterproof a basement that used to have a dry root cellar which no longer exists? So again, I would like to see the land survey done for Sonoma Court to prove that they had the right to build 20 homes, 8 people will grade. Thank you.
Any other audience comments? Go ahead.
Well, I live on Hills Road too, and has anybody ever really, I don't have any water issues in my basement, you know, my basement is dry, but has anybody ever looked at the way that that was run? I mean, there was supposed to be a sidewalk, curb and gutter and everything, and at the last minute, they changed it. I mean, it is a disaster having that ditch in front of the driveway. Right in front of my house, it drains off into, our neighbor's backyard. And then the next house over, it goes into the sewer. Has anybody even like looked at that? I mean, does anybody know if that's even like proper or anything like that?
Yeah, it was all engineered by Whiteman, and they just inspected it.
I mean, it just doesn't.
They did not inspect it,
And
I'll
then,
tell you right
like, when they, I don't think that it was on the up and up either. When they left, there was a gas line, an exposed gas line that was left out, and then they never cut the black stuff off the drains. I mean, it hasn't been, and they came and fixed my driveway once because the culvert underneath my driveway was too short and was causing my driveway to erode. They did fix that once, but it just seemed like it was really like a bad move to go from curb and gutter and sidewalks on Hills Road to a ditch. I mean, I don't necessarily know that's causing issues, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody says it's right, but it does not seem.
Well, you
You know,
cannot take a
right.
culvert and fill it with 2 tons of gravel and think it's going to function,
We
because
don't
it
have
does
any
not.
other documents, because this has been, she has, yes, brought this up before, and I do
Mhm.
sympathize with her, like, it is an issue, but every time we have sent people out, we have emails and documents saying that
It's all kosher and
yeah,
but I
it's
don't-
been inspected.
You
and
cannot
we
have
don't
2
have
inches of a
any-
drain pipe showing that it functioned.
We just don't have any documentation
Mhm.
saying otherwise.
Yeah. And I will attest, I mean, they haven't been out there to clean the gutter, I mean, the ditch out, that's something that I do myself, you know.
For 14 years, it's been.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know, yeah, I'm disappointed, you know, for 14 years because they didn't put sidewalks in.
Yeah, I don't know who idea it was back when they did that.
Yeah, I heard they saved $35,000 by not doing that, that's what the question is. I mean, it's neither here nor there at this point. Yeah.
Any other audience comments? Go ahead.
I'm Angela Tyler, I'm a Baroda resident, and I just wanted to say I appreciate Brad and Nikki's comments about the dissolving of the village. And I I'm just hoping that as we move forward, that there will be confidence in what is being proposed from the commission and no longer any more conflict of interest. I hear that term on many levels, and it's very bothersome. I don't feel comfortable that we're gonna get the right information.
Any other audience comments? If not, meeting's adjourned.
Thank you.